Okay, so if you're under 18, then ideally you shouldn't watch this, but I want the views. But let the record shows I specified under 18 should not watch this. I mean, the year is closing. And if you see my channel, if you're new to my channel, go to playlist, you will see I've made a couple Gooner videos this year. But out of all those videos and games, which are the best and why? So following the Game of the Year awards, we have the Gooner Game of the Year awards. We have a few categories to give awards to. Best story, best goons, best UI, best cast, and best disagreement, aka disappointment. You might be thinking, well, how did you choose which games came through? Well, honestly, I chose games that I can speak highly about. Games that I can say is good. Games that I would recommend. But we have Hentai University by Noodle Jacuzzi and Captain Crypto Geek, FEMBOY FUTA House by It's a Trap, My FEMBOY Roommate by Softboy Games, ETERNUM by Carbitus, Hooked by Blender Knight, and then Any Game Made by owlyboi. But just in case you're new to my channel or you're new to these games, I'm gonna give you a quick rundown of how these games play. First, we have Hentai University. In this game, you are a college counselor who has their hands in hypnosis, and your main goal is just to corrupt everybody without getting caught or losing your corruption score. Basically, I think there's like 2 things you can do that will lower your own corruption to where you'll become like this pure saint. And if that happens, then, you kind of lose the game. So next we have FEMBOY FUTA House. In this game, you are a college student who could attend an interesting magical college. And you have like this ability to enhance others' magic with your goon juice. I can't say the actual word, but you guys know what I'm talking about. Which it leads to interesting scenes with your dorm mates. Next, we have My FEMBOY Roommate. In this game, you were a game developer who was looking for a roommate when someone named Robin ended up being your roommate. And well, Robin's a femboy, and your whole goal is to get close to them, build your affection, your trust, your desire, and, get to the gooning. Next, you have ETERNUM. ETERNUM is probably the coolest on the list, no glaze, but in ETERNUM, you are a transfer student who gets to go back to your old hometown, living with some old childhood friends and the babysitter, aka their mom, so you're living with the mom and her daughters, aka babysitter and your childhood friends, right? There's this neural implant device that sends you to this fantasy world. Think about how Sword Art Online works, kind of like that. So it's like a really cool feature, but the world isn't as simple and innocent and harmless as it might sound. And that's honestly your thing to kind of go through and figure out. And while figuring that out, you also get some cool gooning scenes. So it's like a win-win. Next is Hooked. And Hooked, you are a guy, but there are these 3 girls trying to make their way into the adult entertainment industry. And they meet you, a clueless fisherman who has a massive kya. Can I say that? You have a massive slong. But and lastly, you have owlyboi games. They're just super short AI supported goon slop. And don't get me wrong, they're just ass. Like they deserve to be called slop. But if any of the developers or players of these games watch this and think I could have explained it better, feel free to explain it in the comments down below. It's the time you guys clicked on this video for, to know what games are winning what awards. Starting with best story, we have ETERNUM. Now, what this game does differently is it's not purely a goon game, right? Like, the goon is like an addition. Like, this game actually has a story, a plot, interesting characters. You get to know about their backstories and break them down. They have their own kind of like story routes and all that. You can either romance them, not romance them. It really changes how your story plays out. Whereas the other games are kind of just do it with every doable character. When I first played it, I was playing purely for the goons. Right, I'm thinking like, damn, when's the next gooning scene? But then you keep playing and it gets interesting and it kind of hooks you to play it. Next is best goons. Now, this one was a little trickier since these are all gooner games. However, how I chose the winner is based on best goons visually. So I have to go with Hooked, because Hentai University, FEMBOY FUTA House, and My FEMBOY Roommate, and technically owlyboi games, they're all completely still images with at most sounds, which doesn't make them bad, but it doesn't make them stand out to win. Now, ETERNUM, they got the animation, but for me personally, it reminds me of those generic semi-realistic goon games. The game is still good, the goons are not bad, but to win best goons, I can't really give it to that considering there are so many games with that similar art style out there. So I have to give it to Hook. With me, Hooked has what the color of it is vibrant. The character designs, they're bad. I mean, all the games have bad characters, but they're bad as in like good bad, not bad bad. And it stands out, and also it has animation. Now it's not complete animation, like there are still images, but they give you those little animations which just, it's like a quality of life update. Now we have best UI. I gotta give it to FEMBOY FUTA House. It reminds me of Persona, which the other Gooner games kind of have like generic UIs. Like I'm pretty sure most of them use Renpy, which isn't bad, but it just doesn't really like the UI doesn't really stand out. However, a little like special shout out is for HENTAI University because there are kind of cheat codes you can use to change the UI. Now we have best cast. Now for me this was the hardest because besides FEMBOY Roommate, every game has, well, an owlyboi, every game has multiple cast members. And like they're all like, each game has good cast members. I personally like them all. But for me, I gotta give it to ETERNUM, mainly because of the game's story. Because the game is an actual story, these characters, their depth is deeper, I guess I would say, right? Like you actually get to explore the characters' personalities, their backstories. You get to see them in action, not just a few scenes and you're gooning. Like again, these characters are actually built. They have their own routes, their own emotions. You can mess up, you can do good. You know, they actually have a pertainment to the story. It really makes them stand out. Versus HENTAI University, Hood, FEMBOY FUTA House, those characters do got their own personalities, but it's not deep because those games are more framed around the Gooner aspect and not the whole story aspect. And lastly, best disagreement, which is every game owlyboi has ever made. Like honestly, I specifically made that award just so I can call out owlyboi. But since that was a lot of yap, let's go over like the main winners. So best story goes to ETERNUM. Best goons goes to Hooked. Best UI goes to FEMBOY FUTA House. Best cast goes to ETERNUM. And best disagreement is owlyboi. And if I had to bestow like the best game, because those are categories, but what is the best game? It really depends, but I gotta give it to ETERNUM. ETERNUM kind of strays you away from the goon. You know, getting off every now and then is not bad, but nowadays folks be getting addicted to the goon. So a game that actually kind of rails you away from the goon, but still has the goon, is peak. But I mean, yeah, that was this year's, aka 2025's Gooner Game of the Year Awards. Will there be a 2026 one? Like, subscribe, and comment if you want to find out, and keep gooning.